And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our third matchup of the night. We just wrapped up Ryung versus DRG. Ryung, of course, showing us, proving to us all that he can do more than just play out mech. He can play bio as well. A very committed style out of Ryung did barely break the defenses of DRG. Coming back from a pretty dire position, to be honest. Bringing it all back there in the end. A very, honestly, really important win for Ryung here in this group. But now we have a very different TVZ between Cure and Lambo. Oh, let's go, Bobby. Let's go. The ZvTs, they just get better and better. And here we have him spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales. We have the South Korean Terran player representing himself. Unfortunately, his teamless was once on Abydos. Now, repping himself, it is Cure. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the German Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. Of course, Lambo having a pretty impressive performance against Dark earlier today. He didn't beat Dark, but he did force Dark to go to the ace match, and it was a back and forth, a close mental battle between both Dark and Lambo. It was really impressive to see, a really technical ZvZ, but now we're here in a ZvT, and this is where I become a little bit more concerned for Lambo, because Cure mechanically is insane. He's a terrifying opponent, a terrifying player, one of the best Terrans in the world. He arguably has the best TVP in the world. TVZ, still pretty damn good as well. But now we see Lambo going for a hatch gas pool. Cure is going for the 2 racks on the low ground. He's going for the Beyond opener. Cure is very fond of this. He's very fond of the more macro variation. I don't remember the last time that Cure has gone for a 3 racks Mass Reaper. He does dabble in 4 racks every now and then, but I imagine he's going to be going for a faster 3rd CC this time. This has become Cure's go-to TVZ opener. Do love to see it. With this, of course, it means that you have Reapers in production. They're going to be on the way. We're going to have 3 Reapers in total for map control, to dance with the queens, and to contain Lambo, even hoping to contain him to 2 bases and delay that 3rd. And behind this, of course, transition to a bio-heavy composition with your add-ons, with stim, with combat shields, all that good stuff. As the first Reaper is making his way across the map. Back at home, Lambo is looking to expand and take that 3rd base. He also stayed in gas until he got 100, so a very fast link speed coming in from Lambo. The Reaper does arrive. Is going to be dancing with the links. But as he dances with said links, the 3rd base is thrown down for Lambo as well. He's looking to get away with it. Of course, now the Reaper does have a friend. It's going to be able to micro against this queen and kind of bully it back here, trying to get into the mineral line. Does force a spore. Doesn't get a drone kill. And Cure is going to rotate around, looking to dip into the main. 3rd base still hasn't been confirmed by Cure, as it has already been thrown down. Cure does dive into said main. Ladies and queens, though, they're able to keep up with the movements. And Lambo doesn't lose much of anything. It's sustaining a lot of damage on one of his queens, but just damage. As link speed is on the horizon, and once it finishes up, Lambo should be able to clean up these Reapers without too much issue. Back at home, we do have that 3rd CC follow-up. It is going to be a 3CC 2-1-1 from Cure, but I'm curious to see what kind of variation he's going to go for. We have seen something very different from Maru. Maru, he goes for 2 Widow Mines. He goes for a medevac first, and he goes for a drop as he sets up his bio push. We have seen Bjorn go for, or we've even seen players like Bjorn, players like Maru go for like Banshees initially and delayed medevacs. Or we could see more straight up play. As Cure is going to be going for Hellions and a Liberator first. Okay. Here we go. So much more standard setup from Cure. Back at home, Lambo able to get his 3rd base up and running without too much issue. Going to be able to drone. He has map control with Link Speed. Cure did get out of there before Link Speed finished, so he didn't lose any of his Reapers. They're kept alive, and they're going to be able to reinforce these Hellions. It's going to be on Lambo to minimize his losses. Cure going to be active with Reaper Hellion, and he's also looking to backstab with that Liberator. So a very active follow-up from Cure. Back at home, how many queens do we have? We have 6 queens, and the majority of them are here on the front lines. Looking to keep up here with the Hellions of Cure. Liberator is queued up to go into the main base. The Overlord of Lambo was able to confirm this for the most part. It did see the faster TC, and he's going to see it being landed. Hellions do reveal themselves. As the Liberator goes into the main, there's already 2 queens and a Spore waiting for it. Lambo fully prepared. As he does zone the Liberator away. Likewise, back at home. Now we do have the Reactor. We do have our first 2 medevacs, and the drop play is upon us. Now the pressure ramps up. We have a tri-pronged attack, basically. We have the double drop on the left-hand side, we have the Hellion Reaper on the right, and the Liberator in the main. They can all hit at once. Liberator, of course, can head towards the natural as well. Lambo, for the time being, keeping eyes on those Hellions. Queens rotate over towards that fresh 4th base. Liberator is going to be queued up to head into the main. As the Marines dive in. 2 queens get picked off. Already a good start for Cure. Liberator does siege up as well. Spore not in position. Lambo not able to react in time. 3-4 workers go down. The Hellions do go in, but they get surrounded. Up. Bit of a misstep here by Cure. The Lings do catch them. They shut them down. At the same time, drop across the map, trades efficiently against these Lings. So both players are hurting in their own way. 1 Hellion survives. Uh-oh. Gets an extra drone. And after all said and done, I would still say that Cure did trade more efficiently. Did lose his Hellions, yes, did lose his Liberator. But he got 6 workers, 2 queens, 3 overlords, and a lot of Lings. The drop play is not over. Cure getting his 3rd base fully saturated. We have a secondary army moving out towards the 4th. While Cure is keeping Lambo busy in the main. God, that 1 medevac is so low. As Cure dips back into towards that 5th. Again, the Lings are being distracted. Over on the left-hand side, we do have a couple of slow Banelings. They are slow. Pressure is on Lambo. He's even going to get supply blocked. 2 workers will go down. Bailing speed does now kick in. Meanwhile, over on the right-hand side, the drop is going to get cleaned up. Cure not able to pay attention in time. May even lose a medevac as well. And now that the drop has been cleaned up, Lambo, he's able to go for a big counterattack. Oof. The run by does get into the mineral line. Friendly fire from the tank as well. 5 SCVs go down. Likewise, Lambo also lost 6 workers across the map. We're trading blow for blow. And Lambo's coming in for the surround. And with those surrounding Lings, he's going to be able to clean this up. Oof. Cleans up one of those tanks, sorry. Good target firing out of Cure. Takes down the Banelings. And he is not letting up. He's able to hold on to this position, which means Lambo has to keep supply here at the 4th base. He does have the foresight to split up his army and head towards the 5th. But is this going to be enough? Oh, that's a lot of Marines. It looks like Cure, his macro is impeccable and he's getting out of control. He's up 30 supply, which is just crazy to think about. Hatchery will go down. Lambo is he's just having a hard time keeping up. I think he's just been missing injects. The queens are brought forward. Lambo, he has a bank, but he can't spend it. Yeah, no injects here at the third, at the natural. There is one in the main. But again, Larva is what Lambo is really, or was really missing out on. Now we have 20 Lings in production. Cure still with a massive supply lead. Finally, this tank is going to go down. But I don't think Cure cares anymore. He has a drop here towards the bottom left. He is setting up in the main. Liberator, that one Liberator from the early game, still alive, by the way. More Queens are going down. Again, a beautiful position for Cure. Reducing that surface area. Lambo, upon losing even more of those Queens, he is once again... I mean, he has a macro hatch at least, which is helping. He's trying to rebuild. Up! Cure does take a bailing to the face. But it does feel like he's gaining a little bit too much ground. Looks up in the main, pushes in on the left-hand side. Cure's maxed. That's crazy. Cure is maxed out at this point. Only has one medevac, so he's going to be losing some Marines. And that maxed army is back at home right now. He's waiting for the push. Waiting for even a counterattack, maybe. Drop comes into the natural. 11 workers are going down. Lambo does go for a massive counterattack, but there's an army waiting for him. Up. I say that. No reaction. No reaction. A massive connection. The army of Cure just melts. He loses so many Marines, but it's still not going to be enough. Lambo, that was all he had. GG gets called, and Cure will take game number 1. Despite that big mistake, you could see that Lambo was sub 100 supply, and Cure still at 150. Still had plenty to work with. God, the macro of that game, the pressure from Cure was insane, and Lambo was just being pulled apart. Left and right. Just actually couldn't keep up. And GG, a really powerful performance. Outside of that one slip up at the end, that at the end of the day didn't really matter. But outside of that, it's like just really solid, not even just pressure, but like pressure alongside macro, alongside just, yeah, control as well from Cure. Really well done. Really powerful performance. GG. Where can we see the results of the other games? All the games are being casted on this channel. Or, like, I should say, all the matches are being casted one after the other. I guess you can tune into YouTube or Twitch for the VODs. They will eventually be uploaded. Oh, GG. Representing the CranKy Ducklings, Cure. Oh, the dream, Poppy, the dream. We are now getting ready here for our next game. Players just need a moment to recover. I don't blame them at all. Not after what we just witnessed. And game 2 is going to be taking place on Gressvan. Oh boy. Now I do think that Cure is going to have a bit of a harder time being as aggressive on Gressvan. Could lead into a longer game. So I want to believe that Lambo will have a better chance at just getting some breathing room and getting comfortable on Gressvan. That was the biggest issue. Just Cure was constantly in Lambo's face, constantly just drops everywhere at his 4th, at his 5th, in his main, in his natural. It was very intense. Very intense. Here we go. But yeah, if you're curious, Masters Coliseum number 6, it is going to be a 2-week event. I think actually longer than 2 weeks. And we're going to do our best to try to broadcast every single match, every single game on this channel. Do our best, do our best. Things may get a little bit awkward on Monday because it is going to be going over ESL Open Cup Asia. So we're going to try to cast both ESL Asia and Masters Coliseum. We'll do our best. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let's here we go. We are heading into our next map. Players are ready. Lobby is set. We're going on in. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gres Farm, we have the South Korean Terran player representing himself, leading the series 1-0. It is Cure. Oh. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, going for the 15 hatch. Interesting. We have the German Zerg player representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. Okay. So this has become another answer to the problem here of the 2 racks. This does make you a little bit safer as well. We spoke about this earlier when Lambo was doing the 15 hatch against Dark in the ZvT, but this does give Lambo faster lings, it gives him faster queens, and with queens you have a more solid defense. This does mean that Lambo's gas is going to be delayed though, which means later ling speed, which means he's going to have later map control. So I'm curious if this is going to be worth it in the long run for Lambo. We'll see how he's going to be able to handle this and how long it takes him to expand and take a 3rd base. As Kira is going for that low ground 2 racks, as to be expected. Again, Kira has become very fond of this. This build has become, or this opener has become very meta in Korea and also in Europe as well. We have seen, of course, Spirit, Clem, Hero Marine, they've all been adopting this. What I will say is that the European Terrans, they still only sprinkle it in, like maybe once or twice in a best of series. They don't do it every game, yet. We'll see if it catches on even more, if it becomes more popular. I guess that's also the downside here is, because this is very meta in the Korean scene, it means that Dark, Solar, Ragnarok, DRG, they're all very well versed against this. They have a lot of practice against it, and the European Zergs may be a little bit less so, just because it's less prevalent amongst players like Clem and Spirit and Hero Marine. So here we go. Reaper does arrive and is looking for some damage here. Does force out one of those. Oh, one of the spores does get a drone. Up. Big pick-off already. 3rd base has been taken. This is a gasless opener, by the way, from Lambo. Very, very late gas. Very greedy opener from Lambo. We'll see if he can get away with it. So far, so good. He's defending with only queens, no lings. But that does mean that his mineral line is a little bit more vulnerable. Oh, so we do see the Reapers dive into the main. One of the queens out of position. He's going for the mineral line. He's going for the drones. Another drone goes down. So 2 workers in total. Up! But Kira will lose a Reaper. A little bit of a misplaced KDA charge towards the end. But he's going to get a 3rd drone. Can he get a 4th? He does get a spore. Does force a spore. Oh god, this is getting out of hand. 4 workers in total, a bunch of spores, delayed gas mining as well, which is pretty important. The queens, once again, having a hard time keeping up. The drones, they have to be pulled. Another worker falls. Now, to be fair, even though a lot of damage has been done, because this was a gasless opener, Lambo has been cranking out a lot of drones. Like, he has refused to make any lings, so even though he's been losing workers, like, it kind of evens up. This is like the Alazer style of ZvT, where because Alazer is so ZvP, sorry. Because Alazer is so greedy, we've casted games where Alazer, he loses like 15 drones to Oracle Harass, and he's still ahead. Because even though Alazer's losing workers, he's just making so many more to replace them, and it's similar concept here for Lambo. where he just absolutely refused to make any lings whatsoever, defended with only queens, and sure, he lost 5 workers, but like, I mean, look at his worker count. He's already at 51 drones. It's crazy. So what I'm getting at is that it's still okay. It's still okay. Cure, though, look, he's looking to punish. Did go for a 3rd CC opener. Yes. Economic. Yes. But behind this, he's cranking out a lot of Hellions, and we have an armory. He's going for a Hellbat push. Now, because of how greedy Lambo has been, he doesn't have a Bailey Nest. And even when it finishes, he's not going to have a lot of gas to really work with either. So this push from Cure could be devastating. Looking at the units tab, how many queens we have? We only have 6 queens. Not too many. There is potential for Cure. Here we go. The Viking is going to be landed. Armory is done. A Stim is done as well. And here we go. Cure is pushing in. Bailey Nest nowhere near being complete. Without the Bailey Nest, it's going to be a tough hold. Lambo, he's supply blocked. No. Lambo even getting supply blocked at the worst moments as well. There we go. Bailings are being morphed in. There's 8 of them on the way. But the queens are being bullied back to those Bailings. Good at target firing coming out from Cure. Can he focus on all the Bailings? Oh, they're going to finish. They will finish. They do find some connections. And we have a couple more trickling on in. Oh, and it's barely enough to force Cure back. Again, if Cure had maybe split towards the end or target fired a couple more, that could have been it. That could have been game. But Lambo, he holds. He does hold on for dear life. And as the dust settles, Cure has caught up in the worker counts. Lambo, he was forced to make Ling Bane, forced to stop his droning. And I would say that economically at the moment, Cure is ahead. And he's getting ready for another wave. Lambo, he has a moment to breathe, but he only has 1 Baneling. He has to be careful here, not to be a little bit too greedy. Uh-oh. As he is not ready for the second push. But here we go. 10 Banelings are being morphed in. It's going to be close once again, but I do think that Lambo should be able to hold on. At the same time, we have a mine drop in towards that main base. 11 drones go down. Even threatening to reset as well. 11 workers. Cure having a hard... Sorry, Lambo having a hard time keeping up. It looks like... Is it going to go up? Up! Up! Okay, we're good. Just barely. As we get another drop in towards the natural. No reaction. Ooh, 5 more drones go down. And the Widowmine is saved. Once again, Cure with his multitasking. Just pulling Lambo apart. Now Cure is ahead in workers. Lambo is getting into mutaplay though. The Spire is done. And has the Spire been scouted? I believe it has been. Yes. The drop into the natural did see the Spire. So back at home, missile turrets are done. The turrets are done. Widowmines are coming out. Cure is prepared for the mutas. As the Widowmine drop is being shut down. Cure focusing on his attack. He does have to be careful. There's a lot of Ling Bane waiting for him. The other downside, Lambo, he has foregone upgrades in favor of those mutas. Lambo, he's going to be on 0-0 for a while. Oh, mutas are getting caught out. This investment hasn't been worth it yet. Has not been worth it. Ling Bane rolls in, takes down the Hellbats at least. A nice kiting here from Cure. Shaving off a lot of Lings. Can he target fire the Banelings? Up, up. The Banelings do connect, only with a handful of Marines. Cure does hold. You can see him taking a supply lead at this point. He's getting ready for his push. We have Thors as well. 2-2, soon to be on the way here for Cure. Lambo falling further behind in those upgrades. Mutas, they are going to distract Cure for a moment. They are bringing his attention back home. Oh god, but we're still bleeding out a lot of these mutas. And here we go, the Link Bait rolls in! No reaction! Very delayed reaction out of Cure. Does take a bailing to the face, but the positioning is too good. Far too good as Cure. He snowballs out of control. He takes the series 2-0, taking down Lambo. GG. Oh, again, a very powerful performance. It was a really greedy opener that we saw from Lambo. If you remember, he went gasless and he made no lings, and we saw the Reapers really having their way with him. But really, it was about the follow-up push. They held that push really smart from Cure, able to really cripple Lambo then and there. It didn't do too much economic damage, but it forced a massive reaction out of Lambo, forced him to stop droning, invested so much into Ling Bane. That was an efficient trade from Cure as well. And he was just pulling Lambo apart left and right throughout the entire series. GG, a very powerful performance out of Cure. And we are going to be going for a short break. We're going to be taking a step back here as we get into our next series. Hopping over to the Korean server, it's going to be Dark versus Cyan coming up next. See you soon.